Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a science fiction film, Chaos Walking. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie is set in the year 2257. During this time, human beings already managed to colonize another planet named New World. However, the planet caused men to suffer from the condition called noise, which is the vision manifested by their thoughts. In this condition, the thoughts of men are exposed through these visions to other people, allowing other people to see and hear their thoughts, especially the dirty ones. The condition only affects men, but never affects women. At the beginning of the film, a young man, Todd, is wandering along the woods of the New World together with his dog. He is trying to control his thoughts by thinking about his name, so he can hide his thoughts from other people. Their town preacher passes by, and he thinks that their town does not need a preacher. The preacher then slaps him and humiliates him. Apparently, women in their town are already extinct. Todd learns throughout his life that the women are killed by the native species called spackle after the colonizers are involved in a war with them. Todd goes back to the town, and the mayor preaches to him to learn to control his thoughts. The mayor had already mastered the ability to control his own thoughts, making it difficult for others to read his mind. During Todd's childhood, the mayor always says that he must kill in order to protect himself and the town. Apparently, Todd is the youngest man in the town. This means that he will be the last man standing after years. Todd goes back to his home, where he eats with his adoptive parents, Ben and Cillian. Meanwhile, another colonizing spaceship is approaching the New World. The spaceship sends an exploration shutter to survey the planet. Unfortunately, the exploration shutter burns out as it drops to the planet, causing it to crash. The next day, Todd finds someone stealing something from their barn. He chases the thief, and he accidentally finds the crashed exploration shutter. It turns out the thief is the sole survivor of the crash. He then reports it to the mayor, and he reveals the survivor does not have any noise. The mayor figures out that the survivor must be a woman, so he tells his men to search for her. Todd finds the survivor, who is named Vivia. He is amazed to see her, since it is his first time seeing a woman. She runs away out of fear, and the townsmen chase her after her smelly hormones. The mayor manages to catch her, and he comforts her, saying that she is safe now. The mayor brings her to the town. There, he explains the noise condition to her and the events that happened in the New World. He then asks her where she came from. She reveals that her exploration shutter comes from a larger spaceship, which holds thousands of people. The mayor asks where it will land, but she refuses to reveal the location. He walks out of the room and instructs his son to check on her. The mayor's son checks Vivia's things, and he finds a gadget. She warns him to be careful touching the gadget. Despite the warning, he continues touching it, which activates it in the process. As a result, the gadget shoots a bullet, causing small explosions. The commotion allows her to hide under the floor. While hiding, she overhears the mayor talking about his concern for the incoming spaceship. It turns out he is concerned that he will lose control of the planet upon the spaceship's arrival. He then plans to sabotage the spaceship to keep his power over the planet. The mayor and the townspeople immediately move out to search for her. In the meantime, Todd grabs Vivia's bag and takes it back to their barn. There, he finds Vivia hiding in a cage inside their barn. He then decides to help her hide, since he seems to be concerned about her. A town man eventually arrives there, suspecting that Vivia is hiding in the barn. Todd denies that she's hiding there. The town man requests to search the barn, but Todd's adoptive parents refuse to allow him. He then pledges to come back with the mayor and the other townsmen to check the barn. Ben and Cillian figure out that Todd is hiding her in the barn, so the three discuss their plan for her. They tell Todd that he cannot keep Vivia in the barn for long, since the townsmen will find her soon. They then advise him to surrender her to the mayor, but he refuses, thinking that she does not want to go back to the mayor. Ben gives him a choice to leave the town and brings her to a faraway town called the Far Branch. He is surprised to learn that there is another town existing in the New World, since he grew up knowing their town is the only one there. As Todd is preparing to leave, the mayor and the townsmen arrive there, looking for Vivia. The mayor interrogates Todd. In response, Todd tries his best to control his thoughts. However, he accidentally thinks Vivia is in the barn, causing the mayor to figure it out. As the townsmen are approaching the barn, Vivia rides the motorcycle and quickly drives away. Todd rides his horse, and he follows her toward the woods. Cillian shoots the townsman that is trying to follow them. In response, the mayor's son shoots him back. Vivia and Todd continue to leave the area while the remaining townsmen are shooting at them. Vivia drops to the cliff through the motorcycle. After her, Todd slides down to the cliff with his poor Ferrari horse. The Ferrari horse broke its leg, and Todd euthanizes it. Todd convinces her that he is there to help her. He says he will bring her to a safe town, and he manages to gain her trust in the end. The two proceed on the journey towards the far branch, while Todd's dog manages to trace and follow their smell with its GPS nose. Meanwhile, the mayor convinces Ben to help them track down Vivia so Ben can keep Todd safe. Ben accidentally thinks that Todd is heading to the far branch. This exposed vision allows the mayor to know Todd and Vivia are heading there. Cillian dies on Ben's arm, and he tells Ben to keep Todd safe as his final wish. The mayor prepares to leave with the townsmen we manage to manipulate. In the meantime, Todd and Vivia take a break to eat. She reveals that she never lives on Earth since she was born in the spaceship. It turns out that it took 64 years for the spaceship to reach the new world. She says her grandparents signed up to be in the spaceship, hoping for a better life on the new planet. After the revelation, the two proceed to continue their journey. Todd spots a noise coming from the spackles, so they need to avoid that spot, since he believes the spackles are dangerous creatures. As the rain falls down, the two take a stop. Vivia shares her parents are already dead. Todd realizes she is lonely like him. Todd thinks about Tom massaging her, and she sees his exposed hormone thoughts. He then feels embarrassed about it. The next day, Todd and Vivia are continuing their journey when they accidentally encounter a spackle. The spackle approaches him, and in response, he attacks it using a knife. He decides to kill it, but Vivia stops him, saying the spackle poses no danger. Apparently, Todd only learns that the spackles want to wipe out human beings through the teachings of the mayor. Vivia then says he does not need to believe everything the mayor tells him. The two eventually arrive in the far branch town. Todd is amazed to see some women and younger children there, since they do not exist in their town. The far branch people become hostile after learning that Todd came from the other town. It's revealed that the far branch town has a law that they must kill men from the other town. But this town governor welcomes Todd since teenage men are exempted from that law. Vivia asks for a way to communicate with the incoming spaceship, but there is none in the town. The governor then reveals there is a communicator in the first settlement town. Meanwhile, the mayor and the townsmen learn that the two managed to arrive in the far branch town. Later, Tom discovers his mother's diary, but he cannot read it, so he comes to ask Vivia to read it for him. There, Tom learns that the mayor convinced the other men to move to a new settlement. It turns out the mayor and the other men in the new settlement cannot stand the fact that their thoughts are exposed, while the women are not. The preacher then started convincing the townspeople that women do not have souls because they are not affected by the noise. At this point, Todd realizes the mayor and the townspeople killed all of the women, including Todd's mother. He learns that the mayor deceived him by making him believe that the spackles killed all the women in their town. Soon after, the mayor and the townsmen rush to the far branch town. The mayor tries to convince them that Vivia is a spy from the incoming spaceship. He tells them that the incoming spaceship will steal all of its resources, so they need to prevent its arrival. He then convinces the far branch people to surrender to them, instead of fighting back. A far branch man is convinced by the mayor. He then sneaks to grab Vivia. Fortunately, she manages to fight against him and ties him up. As the mayor and the townsmen begin searching, Todd and Vivia run away. Sadly, the preacher sees them, forcing them to hide inside a warehouse. The preacher tries to follow them inside, but a far branch woman shoots him, forcing him to go away. The mayor instructs Ben to take out Vivia, and he promises they will keep Todd safe. Right then, Ben enters the warehouse. Todd tells him that he already knows the truth. Ben defends himself by saying that they cannot do anything about the massacre of women in their town. The only thing he can do is to keep Todd safe from the chaos. Ben then tells Todd to let him keep Todd safe this time. Ben walks out of the warehouse while thinking about Vivia's appearance. The noise of his thought creates an illusion that Vivia is walking with him. While this is happening, Todd and Vivia sneak out of the warehouse to escape. The illusion eventually disappears, and the mayor realizes that Ben deceived him. Meanwhile, Todd and Vivia run to the river together with his dog, while the preacher manages to find them again. They ride a Tesla boat, and they paddle away. Out of desperation to catch her, the preacher follows them in the shallow water with his horse. It turns out that the preacher believes Vivia to be a fallen angel. The boat eventually arrives at the part of the river with a strong flow of water. The preacher jumps to their boat, trying to grab her. As the preacher is dragging her out, the boat flips out, causing all of them to drop into the water. Todd and Vivia manage to swim back to the Tesla boat. However, the preacher grabs Todd's dog and proceeds to kill it. Todd and Vivia eventually manage to get away. Todd feels sad about the death of his dog, and he is trying his best to cope. As they are wandering in the woods, Vivia finds a tall tower. They climb to the top, where they see several more towers. She figures out that it must be leading to the first settlement. The two continue walking until they find the remains of the old spaceship used by the first wave of colonizers. Vivia senses that the mayor and the townsmen are about to catch up with them. She says that there is no time for them to head to the first settlement and suggests searching for the emergency communicator at the first spaceship so she can communicate with her spaceship. They find the emergency communicator and it still works. However, they need to attach the antenna. Todd climbs to attach it. The mayor and the townsmen arrive near the ship and they spot Todd climbing. The mayor then instructs the townsmen to surround the spaceship. Todd successfully attaches the antenna and Vivia finds the communicator working down the lower floor of the spaceship. Out of nowhere, the preacher appears behind her and drags her away. The preacher expresses her guilt for killing the women in their town, so he believes that Vivia must be the angel to purify his sins. Inside his mind, he wishes to be killed by her. She throws her flame gadget at him, which instantly sets him on fire. As he is burning, he declares in his mind that he is baptized with fire, and he is atoning for his sins. After he is burned to death, Vivia continues communicating with her spaceship. Outside, the mayor holds Ben hostage as he calls the attention of Todd. The mayor threatens to kill Ben, forcing Todd to come out. He refuses to reveal Vivia's location, prompting the mayor to shoot Ben. The dying Ben apologizes to Todd for lying, and he secretly hands over a knife to Todd. In an instant, Todd fights back against the mayor, causing the mayor to drop to the floor. The communicator releases a sound, implying that Vivia has already called the spaceship. Todd loses his knife, which forces him to run away. The mayor shoots him, and he gets injured. The mayor says that the 4,000 people from the incoming spaceship will come to destroy all of them. The mayor senses Todd's noise, so he manages to find where he is hiding. Todd remembers that his noise can be his own power. As he appears to be cornered by the mayor, he imagines his mother and the other women killed by the mayor and his men. His imagination creates an illusion of the women, calling the mayor a coward for killing them. As the mayor is distracted by the illusion, Vivia arrives with a stick to push the mayor away. She further pushes the mayor until he falls to death. The newly arrived spaceship appears in the sky, prompting the remaining townsmen to run away out of fear. The injured Todd eventually wakes up in the newly arrived spaceship. In the end, he sees that the newly arrived people are building their new colony in the new world, implying that Vivia is going to stay with him. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.